21-year-old Inam Tshakeni had a signature look. Her family and friends knew that if you are looking for her, find the girl with the most colorful and brightest hair in the room. And that is her. That is Inam. In July last year, her hair was pink, bright pink. So when she went missing, everyone knew that you will find her with the bright pink hair. But they didn't know that the man who will find her will see her legs first. He would get closer, and then he saw that her hands were tied together with torn clothes. Then he saw the pink hair, but Inam was deceased. The last time her friends saw her alive, they were at Bulawayo Tavern. She met a man, she left with the man. The man's name is Ndabenhle Majola. He allegedly raped her, he assaulted her, and then strangled her. This before dropping her body at a sugarcane field where she was found a few days later. This is the story of Inam Tshakeni. Welcome back to True Crime with me, Julia. Here we tell true crime stories that have happened in South Africa. These are stories that we feel deserve a voice to keep the victim stories in the discourse. Today's story broke last year and the suspect was arrested and he is currently appearing in court for trial. His last appearance was yesterday, Friday 10 October. The case is well covered in the media, so please do your own research as well and share your thoughts with us in the comments. So without wasting time, let us get into today's story. Born and raised in Montfrey in the Eastern Cape, Inam was known by family and friends as ambitious and kind-hearted. She had a passion for aviation, a dream to one day become a commercial pilot. In 2024, she relocated to Durban to complete her fixed-wing pilot training at Virginia Airport. Her family described her as focused and full of life. She was also a few months pregnant with twins. Her life was in the rise and her future was looking bright. But everything changed on the night of July 13, 2024. That evening, Inam and her friends went out to unwind at a local tavern in Reservoir Hills, Durban. According to records, they arrived at the Bulawayo Tavern, a popular local hangout. There, Inam met 37-year-old Ndabenhle Majola, a refrigeration technician from the same area. Witnesses say they laughed, shared drinks, and seemed friendly the entire night. Later on in the night, Majola offered to give Inam and her friends a lift home in his Ford Ranger buggy. Her friends got off at a house in Clay Estate. Majola drove off with Inam, and that was the last time she was seen alive. The next day, Inam's family in Durban grew worried when her phone went unanswered. By midday the following day, they filed a missing persons case at the Sydenham police station. Days went by with no sign of her, until a farmer in Canelands made a horrifying discovery. On July 16, at around 10:30 p.m., a farmer patrolling his sugarcane fields noticed something unusual, what looked like human legs sticking out from the bush. He called Reaction Aid South Africa, RUSA, immediately. When RUSA officers arrived, led by owner Prem Balram, they found the body of a young woman laying face up, partially naked, with the hands bound by a jacket and a string tied around her neck. Her face was bruised, her pink hair stood out, a detail that helped her family identify her just hours later. She was wearing a short black night dress, the same one that she was wearing on the night that they went out. Detective Warrant Officer Pravin Sibaluka from Sydenham led the investigation. Working with cell phone data, eyewitness accounts, and surveillance footage, police traced the suspects and identified him as Ndabenhle Majola. 2 cars were seized, a Ford Ranger. The Ford Ranger was used in the kidnapping and the VW Golf GTI was used to dispose of Inam's body. According to court records, Ndabenhle allegedly put Inam in the boot of his Golf GTI, picked up a friend and went to drop off the friend at work, and then went from work to go and dispose of Inam's body. So he drove around with her in his boot, allegedly. A post-mortem later confirmed the worst. Inam had been raped, she had been beaten, and strangled. She suffered blunt force injuries to the neck, and she'd been pregnant with twins at the time of her death. Police arrested Ndabenhle within days. He has been in custody ever since. According to the indictment, after Inam's friends got out of the bakkie, Ndabenhle drove her to an isolated location where he allegedly raped and killed her before transferring her body into his Golf GTI and dumping her 32 kilometers away. In court, Ndabenhle pleaded not guilty. He claimed that Inam was alive when they parted ways and that she had suggested they meet again. But the DNA evidence told a different story. DNA taken from the rope used to bind her hands matched Ndabenhle's DNA. As mentioned earlier that he's currently on trial, so the trial of state versus Ndabenhle Majola began on October 7, 2025, this in the Durban High Court. It's presided over by Judge President Toba Poyo. The court had chilling testimony from witnesses, including Prem from RUSA, forensic experts, and telecom investigators from MTN. Inam's story has reignited public anger over gender-based violence in South Africa. A young woman with a dream, silenced before she could even take off. Communities across the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal continue to call for justice and harsher sentences for perpetrators of violence against women. The case has become a symbol, a tragic reminder that behind every statistic is a real person, a real dream, a real future stolen. Just like that, Inam's dreams of becoming a pilot were crashed just because a man felt like he wanted to or that he could. As the trial continues, Inam's family awaits for justice, hoping that her story will not be forgotten. She wanted to fly, but instead, her wings were clipped by a cruel man. May her soul rest in peace, and may her story remind us that justice must never rest. What are your thoughts on this story? I can clearly tell you that she trusted him. Little did she know that she was not safe at all. What could make a man betray a woman who put her life and her safety in his hands just like that? Let's talk in the comments. Please be safe, and likewise, I will see you on the next one.